streets up. Yeah, yeah. Okay, wake the streets up. Okay, come on. Okay, wake the streets up. Yeah, yeah. Come on, wake the streets up. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hey, back at it, and it's Tuesday, time for the tech talk, Keep it chill. I was actually hiking for the past couple of weeks, and my tech topics will revolve around that. Obviously, a lot's happened. Quick shout out, I'm gonna mention that Twitch has been banned in India by the biggest ISP provider there for no real reason apart from it's eating up on their own private streaming service. Bizarre, it's cruel, it's evil, but we'll probably cover that next week in more detail. As of now, let's get into photos. Photos are one of the things you can never really get back. Your essay gets deleted, you can quickly retype an essay. If you lose something online, you could search for it and find it. But photos capture a very specific moment in time. And I'm not talking about your thousands and thousands of selfies for the gram. I'm talking about more things like your baby's first steps, or, a beautiful trip in Yellowstone National Park where you saw a bear, stuff like that. Now, I always back up my photos, but a lot of older people don't even know this is possible. And they tend to store it on their phone, which is a fragile device. It breaks. You update your phone every couple of years. So today I'm just going to talk about a few photo options available, which is cheap, easy backups available. And I highly recommend everyone does it. You say you don't have the time and stuff, I get it, but most of these do it automatically. And if you're like me, you can even select specific photos to upload. My personal favorite and the one I use is Google Photos. Google Photos is my preferred service because it's really reasonable in the price. It's very easy to use. And it has tons of pro features if you want to dive into it, like facial recognition and creating canvases. Everyone gets 15 gigabytes of free storage for high quality photos, which is quite a lot, but it gets shared across your Google services. So your email and stuff also takes up that 15 gigabytes. But you have unlimited compressed quality photos. And for me, that's okay. I have photos on my phone and I'm sharing it with friends and families. So the quality is pretty nice. Obviously, if you're a professional photographer, you would want to invest, and you probably are investing in the unlimited paid storage. I think this plan comes to about like $10 or $15 a month. I couldn't be sure, but yeah, Google Photos, if you're looking for something cheap, free, and unlimited, I strongly recommend you use it. Let's get into iCloud. Obviously, if you're using an iPhone, you've heard of iCloud. And the iCloud suite, or in the Apple environment, it's very easy to use. I was in fact surprised when a couple of my friends didn't know that iCloud could share albums, and you can have shared albums for a trip. So iCloud only offers about 5 gigabytes of free space, and again shared with your iPhone backups and emails, so that goes really quickly, and I wouldn't recommend that. But if you want to pay extra, you get 50 gigabytes of storage for the year, and it's pretty good. It's expensive compared to Google Photos, but if you're tied into the Apple environment, it really makes sense. And not to forget, Apple's very tight about security, so chances of your photos getting hacked or leaked are a lot slimmer than other services. And let's talk about two other ones, a little more niche than the Apple and Google environment, and we have Flickr. A few of you may have heard of Flickr, and Flickr offers 1 terabyte of free storage, which is insane. That's most people will be more than happy with that. And it's free, and you get high resolution photos. However, they don't have automatic uploading from your phone, which is not too much of an issue. If you want to spend time, it's like an hour and you just manually upload the thing. But if you don't want to do that, it's $6 a month. I think it's a really good service, especially if you want to publicly share these with everyone, or you want to make shared albums with your friends and families. And it could be used for amateur to professional photographers. And finally, we have Dropbox. So Dropbox is not a photo storage service per se, but it's got a handy mobile app. I use it for like my audio files, sharing it with people, and it's a good backup. It offers you about 2 gigabytes of free space. So maybe if you've run out of everything or you want a secondary storage, you should use Dropbox. But yeah, after this video, you have no excuse to not be backing up your pictures, because if that thing goes, it's gone. And another thing, so I was on the trail a lot. We were doing 15-mile hikes pretty much every other day, and I had a map with me. That's like absolute boomer shit. But there are benefits. There are benefits to obviously a physical map, but it is the 21st century. And we have a little something called trail watches. So, we have smartwatches everywhere. Smartwatches are great for the city. I think they track your footsteps and, Apple Pay, whatnot. You can swipe, be on the go. But trail watches offer a little bit of a unique niche for people on the trail in areas where there's no signal whatsoever. And what if you're lost in the woods? Well, that's when trail watches come in handy. So I'm going to talk about 3, which are pretty useful, and they kind of fit all levels of the budget. Starting, we have the Fitbit Charge 4, which starts off at about $150. It's great for the casual trekker, someone who's doing day hikes. It's relatively cheap to the other 2, and it's got built-in GPS. It syncs with the Fitbit app, and it tracks your fat burning, calorie count, steps, and everything like that. To the next level, we have the Polar Grit X. The Polar Grit X is really good. Again, GPS tracking and 100 hours of battery life. So that's really good. It connects to the satellite and it tracks your ascent and descent. So it'll be hard to get. And finally, we have the Garmin Fenix 6S Pro. Quite a handful to say. And it's pretty expensive. It's $550. This is probably not a watch for everyone unless you're like a real serious trekker. This is like huge mountains, backcountry trails. If you're doing it on your own, you can scroll through maps offline on the watch face. The map has a built-in compass, so if you get lost, you can navigate yourself. It sets time intervals to ping GPS and satellite locations, so it has your exact address. And it obviously tracks all the fun stuff like your pace, the altitude, your steps, calories burned. And it even notifies emergency contacts if you fall off a cliff. So, these are some useful things, obviously not for everyone. But if you are on the trail, it's definitely worth considering. And these were some things that I was thinking about as I was hiking for the past 2 weeks. So that's today's tech talk, a little bit of a niche thing, but yeah, we're going to get back into it next week. There's obviously so much going on. We have the election. There's so much hacking going on that. So we'll try and cover that as well. It's your boy Z. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
Come on! Wake the streets up! Yeah!